Hola estudiantes. This video tutorial is for any students taking Profesora Krista Krogan's classes, and we are in the Vista Higher Learning program called Portales. So the textbook that we are using for this class is Portales. Now, this is just a current class that I have running. All of my classes in Portales, no matter what school, no matter what term, will be set up like this. So pay no mind to the fact that that might not be your course, but we're just going to click on the picture of the textbook in order to access the text. Okay, so what we have here is the course dashboard. So this is going to give us the upcoming assignments. So we've got 45 activities due on October 23rd, and we have an estimated completion time of 3 hours and 49 minutes. You can also find approximately how much time things are going to take by going into the assignment calendar. So you can see on the assignments that are coming up to be due on the 23rd, there are 46 total graded assignments, approximately 3 hours and 54 minutes of work. Now, that is the average. So for some of you, this will take less time, and for some of you, it will take more time. So this calendar is handy so you can just take a look. I thought you could click on those and enter into the assignments as well, but it's not appearing to let me do that. But I'm going to go back to, let's see here, I'm going back to the course, okay, back to the dashboard, and I can click on start and just work through these assignments in the order that they are displayed, and it will just work you through everything that is due for the course on October 23rd. Now, notice here there are previous due dates, so there are a whole bunch of assignments that I missed out on, and so this is where you would find work that you did not complete. But I'm going to continue working forward, and I'm just going to click on start just to show you.
Click on the audio icons to listen to the words.
Okay, so this is the how to use tab, and it'll tell you what to do. This type of assignment is one that there is no right answer. There is nothing to actually fill out or complete or do. It's really just clicking things and listening to it to help you learn vocabulary. And so there's some things that you can do and just be clicking.
Mi abuelo. Mi abuela.
Okay, and so really, however much time you want to spend here is up to you. And then when I'm ready to go to the next activity, I just click on next activity.
Start the tutorial.
I could go back to the dashboard as well if I wanted to. Okay, I'm just going to click through some of these.
Start the tutorial. Start the tutorial.
Okay, I think it's not going to let me go until I actually do some of this. I will tell you these tutorials, they will show as assignments to do, but on the tutorials, for whatever reason, the work that's completed in them is not something that I have access to grade. So I'm just going to manually click on something else here.
Start the tutorial.
Maybe. Okay, I'm going to push this a little bit further here. Okay, so for example, so here we have an assignment where we're choosing the word that does not belong in each group. And so I'm just, for the sake of just showing you, I'm just going to pick as though we're doing this assignment. And then I'm going to go ahead. I could just save this so that I can come back to it later, or I'm just ready to submit it. So I will submit, and then it'll tell you up here how many attempts that you have remaining. So assignments that have more than one possible answer will have multiple attempts. It just depends on what your instructor has set up. Now, if it's an assignment where there are only two choices, so like a true false, that type of assignment you only get to complete once because I mean, obviously, if you guess true and it's wrong, then you know that the answer was false. And so that's just to prohibit people like just kind of doing what I did just to find out the wrong answer so that we can now go in and figure out what's the right answer. Okay, and so this with the red X tells me I'm wrong. So médica is not the word that does not belong in each group. Okay, so I've missed pretty much all of them. Okay, and so I do have one attempt remaining that I can go back and try again. I can click on that retry down here, or I can click accept. Or I can click ask your instructor, and then I can actually type a question right in here. Why number 1 is wrong? Isn't médica a female doctor? That doesn't seem to belong. The more elaborate you can be, the more helpful it is to me. So then I'm just going to click submit. I must click an item. So I need to click which item I am referring to. That is the one. And then I can click submit. And so in all of my classes, I check on these instructor requests every single day. So that's just a little bit about how the assignments work. I'm going to return to the dashboard. In fact, I'm going to look at some of this other stuff up here. So here is forums in case I would ever set up discussion forums. Announcements is an area where I will sometimes post announcements, and that will come up for you on your dashboard as well. Announcements would come up right here, or notifications would come up right here. But here is where you can find just the menu items as well. Okay, so let's go over to content. So here's another way that you can access the activities, because sometimes students like to work ahead, which is definitely appreciated. And once they have all of the upcoming assignments due, sometimes assignments further down the road don't come up in the dashboard. And so what I like to teach students to do is you can find all of the assignments that I have assigned. And so you just go into content, activities, and then here are all of the sections of the textbook and student activities manual. And then over here are the exercises. Here it tells when they are due. Here it tells the status, whether or not they've been completed or not. So when you actually do one of these and then you come back, it should show that you have completed it. And so you can look at this and you can see that actually I haven't assigned everything, even though it probably feels like there's a lot out there. There's lots and lots of assignments that I just didn't assign. And so you can come in here and complete them from here. And anything that doesn't have a due date, you could do for extra practice, and it will not count towards your grades. So that's a nice feature. It's a nice, there's actually lots of assignments you could be doing here just to practice that I have not assigned. Assessment is where the tests will be. In this particular course, there are no assessments set up in Portales. Resources is probably not something you will need as a student. Vocabulary tools is going to be some vocabulary type of tools, obviously. So this is just going to go through all of the vocabulary that's learned in this particular chapter. And what's nice is you can even add your own words if you would like to. So you would give what it means in Spanish and then put what it is in English and then hit save. So that's a really nice feature. You can also take this into flashcards.
La clase es a las 2.
Okay, and when you feel like you know it, you're confident, you click,
Son las
I know
2.
it. Son las 2. It's 2 o'clock, I know that.
¿De dónde eres?
Oh, I'm not quite sure on that yet, so I'm going to
¿A
hit
qué
not
hora
yet.
es la clase de biología?
Okay, and then it'll take you through, and then it'll recycle the ones that you haven't mastered quite yet. So that's a nice little feature. And then eCompanion is going to be your textbook online. For those of you that are not using a desk version. Okay, so you can go to the sections and work your way right through. I'm just going to let you peruse through that on your own. Okay, calendar I showed you, and the last area I really want to focus on is grades and help requests. Now, first of all, help requests, here is what you sent. And this is where you will go when you come back to look and see for my response. Okay? Gradebook is where you will go to check in and just learn more about your results. It tells you your last activity, how long you've spent, the cumulative, which I wouldn't focus so much on. Well, I guess it depends on the course, whether you should focus on that. But what you can do, this is just the overview. Scores will give you the scores of your assignments that you have completed or the ones that are due, okay, and this tells me what's submitted and what's not submitted, okay, so there's a whole bunch of things in here. That's super helpful. And then you should be able to go into the assignments. Oftentimes I will post comments, and so you can go right back into the assignment and be able to view any comments that I may have placed there. Okay, so that's back to the grade book. This gives you, okay, it doesn't tell anything for unassigned work. So that is essentially how you will work through the course, and it's just going to be a little bit of a matter of just getting in here and spending some time and learning your way around. Do please use the Ask the Instructor. Let's see, I do want to just show you one. So for example, let's see if I can do this really fast. Okay, so I'm just going to answer some questions real fast, and hopefully, since these are only 2 choices, I only get to do it once. Okay, so I got some right, some wrong. And so I can either ask the instructor, and in this case, I'll be reviewing the score because I don't have the option to do the assignment again. So this is a review request. I could practice it by doing it again, but I won't get credit for it. Answers will not be saved. So if you do want to do it again, you sure can. Let's see here. I just wanted to go back to that scores area. Okay, so here is that assignment that I think it's the one I just did, and I can learn more about it by going into the grade. Oh no, this is the one I did earlier. Okay, so here's where I can see the graded assignment and any comments. Obviously, there's no comments here, but on the more open-ended questions, especially the orals, there is a comment box, and I will often give feedback. And so that is how you would find it, is by clicking on your grade in that grade book. Okay, that's all for now. Hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.